required by law of my own law making to give y'all politics. But I want to make politics fun for y'all. I want y'all to understand politics in a fun way. So shout out to my guy right here. I want to give him a shout out. Link will be in the description. The Thepoliticalplug. Go follow him right now. Matter of fact, I will do it on stream so y'all will see me do it. This dude is very smart. So I might not always agree with him, but he's a smart dude and he understands. And of course, we got our friend Dr. Umar. He's up here to tell us not to vote. So I found this video and I want to go over and review it and talk about it because we need to be able to vote. And I need to show you why not voting hurts you. Again, from redistricting to all kind of illegal things that people do to make sure your vote counts less. If you don't vote, you will allow that. And by the way, that is not done by Joe Biden. That's not done by Donald Trump. That's not done by any of them. That is done on your local level. The government, the federal government cannot, I repeat, cannot redistrict. The Senate cannot redistrict. The state government can barely do it. It's your local officials and the state government. If they get together and enough of them, they can redistrict the whole thing. But mostly your local people start organizing and then they submit and then the state senate agrees. Then they redistrict your whole thing. But let's let him explain why, and let's go over why Dr. Umar is wrong. Let's go.
To influence the political process is to not participate in it in one election cycle and let the power structure see your power.
So what Umar...
Before we get in that, that's a horrible idea. I'm going to let my boy do it instead of me. So I'm going to go over what he says behind it.
I just described is what I would call a dummy mission. Set up to fail from the get-go, but y'all run with these same talking points every election season. So let's get it.
Don't give the Democrat your vote. Show them that you will no longer be taken advantage of.
If you sound like Umar and you're not voting because you want to prove a point to Democrats, cool. Because that means your ass shouldn't be voting in the first place. I don't do the whole our ancestors fought for our right to vote back and forth. I look at voting the same way I look at opinions. Yes, everybody has a right to win, but if it's ill-informed or misinformed, you can keep that to yourself. Sit this one out.
Yeah.
That's facts. That is very much, I agree with that. Listen, I don't let uninformed opinions bother me. I don't let it, right? Because if you let it fester too much, they tend to like take over. And then why are you arguing so hard if it's wrong? You know it's the truth. The Matrix is out to get me. Bro, you live in a trailer in Mississippi making $4,000 a year on welfare. The government is not out to get you. They don't even care about you. They're the reason you're surviving, sir. I don't know why you're so upset.
You may have to deal with a Republican president for 4 years, but guess what? The Democrats haven't been no walk in the park either.
Y'all complicate the simple shit with this played out ass script. Not voting does more damage to local government, local communities than it does the Democrats that y'all trying to punish, because it's local government, not the White House, not Congress, that controls our access to public goods, services, and resources. So instead of beefing with Democrats, we need to prioritize addressing how we are severely underrepresented in local positions of power.
He finna go over some stats real quick, but I just want to go over this too. On why what he said. I want a litmus test to all you, because the worst thing you can do is not understand the processes you are in. Do you know what your chancery clerk does? Do you know what your circuit clerk does? Do you know what your mayor does? Do you know what your sheriff does? Do you know what your school board does? Do you actually know what they do? Do you know? Because I can prove something right now. Who makes the laws in this country? I'm gonna give you time. If you said president, you are wrong. You need to be politically educated. Not that you're dumb, because they don't teach this in school. They don't bother to teach you. Why? Because if you know more about the process, you probably would change your vote. The legislative, Congress and Senate makes the laws. The president executes the laws by making it official. And the only reason the president is even involved in this process is a check and balance. Let's continue with the video.
In his Ballad of the Bullet speech, Malcolm X argued that we as black people needed to mature politically and understand the purpose of voting.
Speech,
we have to get everybody in Harlem registered, not as Democrats or Republicans, but registered as independents. There won't be a door in Harlem that will not have been knocked on to see that whatever black face lives behind that door is registered to vote. Nobody will have an excuse not to be registered. We'll ask him, let us see your card. If you don't have the sense of responsibility to get registered, we'll move you out of town.
When these so-called black voices are telling y'all not to vote to spite a political party, we are playing a childish game, and it does nothing to improve our situation.
This is 100% facts, by the way. By the way, this is a great speech by Malcolm X. A lot of times y'all speak on Malcolm X, but don't know what the brother said. A lot of times y'all speak on Martin Luther King and don't know what the brother said. So y'all don't know how he felt about voting. Like, why we vote? Why do I need to vote? You need to vote. He telling you if you don't vote or you don't register to vote as an independent, kick you out. Y'all know he doesn't like Democrats or Republicans. He's saying, I'll kick you out. By the way, my thing to fix the whole problem, y'all won't do it. Nobody will. Now, I'm not talking about black people, I'm talking about in general. Is to every incumbent in Washington, D.C., vote every one of them out. I don't care if it's Republican, Democrat, vote every one of them out. And I'm not even saying vote for the opposite party. I'm just saying you vote somebody else in. That way, when everyone gets voted out, it's a statement to them that we ain't playing with y'all no more. But that process still requires you to vote. That's my theory. I can change everything. Why? Because if everybody get voted out, that means, they not playing with us no more. Even if you like the person you got, you have to make that sacrifice in order to change something. Because if you don't do it, that person will feel justified.
It's going to be the ballot or the bullet. After we get our people registered, we can then organize that voting strength and channel it in the direction that will get immediate results for the benefit of our people. We can sweep our enemies right out of office.
So when Umar brings up stuff like the school to prison pipeline, all you got to do is ask who's responsible.
Listen.
People with his script will say, blame the Democrats. That does nothing for you. We should be scrutinizing local elected prosecutors and school board members regardless of party affiliation. Let's talk about what matters. Data from the National School Board Association shows that 79% of school board members are white. We also have data that shows that 95% of elected prosecutors are white. Why does this matter for black students? Because government data proves that black students are disciplined at higher rates than their classmates. They only make up 15% of the student population, but make up 23% of students suspended. And it all makes...
How many of y'all have ever seen a kid do the same thing as another white kid? And all of a sudden, that same white kid gets off way lighter. Like, that kid will get suspended. This white kid will just get, like, your mom get telling you.
Makes sense when we look at the research that shows that white school board members are more than likely to adopt policies that are harmful to non-white students. But it's good news too. It's data that shows that having more black people on the school board leads to more equitable policies for marginalized students. On top of the research that proves that black district attorneys reduce disparities in arrests and in incarceration. See, this is how you have a conversation about voting without prioritizing political parties. So if you don't want to vote to get back at Democrats, that is perfectly cool. We could do with less ill-informed, one-dimensional voters. Thank you for sitting this one out.
Listen. 100% true. Follow my brother. I don't know what this video is right here. I ain't watched that one, but yeah, just follow that because my brother be spitting sometimes. Don't agree with everything he say, but he be spitting sometimes. And usually he know what he talking about. He brings statistics and things. I appreciate that. Yo, listen, y'all just like, I can't be Senate, be the mayor. My cousin, shout out to Angela. She's the mayor now. Guess what? We have businesses now. Why? Because she tried. Even my uncle went against it. They're trying. Black people trying. In the mostly white town, we have a black mayor. And the second and third place person, they were black too. We have black aldermen. All of a sudden, we got new businesses going around. We have 4 new stores since she's been here. We have people coming in. We have a energy renewal plant now that we didn't have before. She went for grants because she actually did her job. She knew to go to these meetings around the state when they give grants out and opportunities. She found grant writers. Why? She know what she's doing. Even though I don't know if she's the greatest at it. I ain't really watched as much she done, but I know she gets things done because she tried. Because effort is the one thing you don't want to lack in this world. Because like I told you, if you don't even know what your local officials do and you don't know how it affects your life, you are already at a disadvantage. Your life could be so much better. You can have better jobs in your area by simply understanding what the local government doing. And by literally going to these meetings Tuesday, Monday, whenever they have them, once a month, and go in there and tell them, we need this in our city or town. Don't care if they're black or white. Because a lot of times even the black people don't know what they're doing. You got to hold them their foot to the fire. See, when I did this in 2018, people got mad at me. I'm always about holding people's feet to the fire. Time to get to work. Time to get to work. Like, subscribe.